What's up, guys? This is Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to give you guys some good news about Tesla and also an important warning about the markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice whatsoever. So as far as Tesla's going, we saw this nice break to the upside as we predicted. We were talking about how Tesla's going to likely push up 3%. We were expecting it to run to 325 to 330. We did go a little bit above that, but now we're going to see if this slows down because there is a pennant on Tesla, and we do like to get back below it. Even if we do break out temporarily, we do like to get back inside of it. So we'll see if Tesla's about to see a massive breakout or if it's about to turn back down. Now, as far as the overall market goes, I do want to talk about something in just a minute, but there is good news for Tesla, which is helping it outperform the market. So, despite the fact that Tesla's head of the Dojo team is going to be leaving and lots of other members that are involved in that, and despite the fact that Tesla is going to be relying more on Nvda, on AMD, and then Samsung for the chip designs, manufacturing, and such, right? Despite all of that news, there's been some good news that came out with self-driving still being developed and the fact that Elon Musk has other companies that are going to be working on the back end of different things, right? Adam Jonas from Morgan Stanley is still very, very bullish on Tesla, and he does not think that Tesla will face much downside from the dojo closure. He's saying that dojo's worth $500 billion in recent reports. However, it's a key factor to help them accelerate their hardware and software. And he believes that Tesla's ability to create AI applications is full of value. He also mentioned that because a lot of the team members are still going to be working for Tesla, just in different departments, Tesla's going to be completely fine. He maintains a buy rating for Tesla, and he has a $410 price target for the stock. He is more bullish than average, and if anything, he thinks that there's going to be a lot of upside potential. The average analyst's price targets around $314 a share, but besides that, he still remains very bullish, and he does not think this is going to affect Tesla too negatively. Now, when it comes to the overall market, keep in mind that there's not really a whole lot coming out for today or on Monday. Monday's going to be kind of quiet. But on Tuesday, we have CPI coming out before market opens. So we only have the rest of today, then on Monday, and then we have CPI data. So I do want to give you guys a warning about this as far as the market is going. Right now, Tesla's consolidating. We're trying to push higher. But as we have CPI and other factors coming out for next week, we're going to see if we get back inside of this wedge. If we lose 330 on Tesla, there's going to be a risk of us returning to 325. But if we hold above 330, we could try to push even higher. So please keep that in mind, especially as time goes on. Can we hold above these key levels or not? We're just going to have to wait and see. If we hold 330 for close, and even next week, we could be pumping a lot more on Tesla. If not, we're going to be ready for a potential pivot, so be careful. My only warning comes because of the fact that, we had this instance right here where Tesla was, pushing and it turned back down. We pushed very vertically right here towards like 360, and we came right back down inside of this pennant. Right here, we pushed very vertically. We actually touched essentially 340. Then we turned right back down. So now we're trying to push here, touching towards 335. And we're going to see if we break past that or not. Can we hold above 330? If not, we could turn back down. So I do want to let you guys know to be careful. Also on SPY, I do have a warning. Now, warnings are not 100% guaranteed to, they don't really guarantee anything, right? But I just wanted to say that when you look at the setup on SPY, there is a possible head and shoulders here. We have like a left shoulder, we have a head, we have a right shoulder, and we need to see this thing hold above 637. If that holds, we could be trying to go back up towards 638. If we break 638, this is going to be going for new all-time highs, okay? And that could be good for Tesla. But if we reject and we can't hold above 638, I'm looking for the possibility of a head and shoulders. If we lose 633, for example, this could still turn back down for a head and shoulders, taking us right back down. So we'll see, does SPY get a big rejection? Are we about to form a head and shoulders? Or do we take out the high at 638 to break all-time highs, right? It could go either way. So if we get a big rejection, just hypothetically, right? Head and shoulders are not always guaranteed to pan out. I would not bet my life on this. But I'm just trying to say that if this does end up panning out, this would be a bearish sign for the markets and bearish signal for Tesla. So we'll see how it goes. On the QQQ, we're technically making higher highs and higher lows, but I just want to warn you guys to be careful because There is a double, maybe a triple bearish divergence. I think it's actually a double bearish divergence. It's a double bearish divergence right here. So although it may try to go for 575, we're going to see if this pivots. We need to lose 571 to turn back down. For now, we could be pushing a bit more. So for SPY, there's a head and shoulders pattern, but we need to break 638 to invalidate this and go to all-time highs. If we can't and we reject off 637, we could turn back down to 635 or below, and then that could be a sign the market's going to slow down. That could be a bearish sign for the market if that ends up being the case. For the IWM, we also have a head and shoulders here, so I'd be very, very careful. Make sure you watch this left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. Now, I'd like to see us break 222 to try to push higher if we can. So there's going to be a riskless return to like 218 or below, so we'll see how it goes. On ES, same thing. This also has a slanted left shoulder, head and right shoulder, or however you want to interpret this. We need to hold above 6,400 on ES to try to push higher. I want to see us hold 6,400 to try to push higher if we can't. If we get a rejection, we lose 6,380. I could be looking for a move right back down. This could be favoring, once again, this head and shoulders. So we'll see if ES rejects or not. I do want to warn you guys to be careful as we're consolidating. And we need to break past 64.25 to remain bullish. Otherwise, I would be careful. NQ is bullish, making higher highs and higher lows. But be careful the higher we go. The closer we get to 23,800, the riskier it becomes. This also has a actually a triple bearish divergence. This one has a triple bearish divergence. This may lead to a pivot, so be careful in case that ends up being the case. Bitcoin has a head and shoulders. We need to get back of 116,000. If not, we could be looking for 115,000 flats, and we'll see how it goes. Tesla's pushing nicely, but I want to warn you guys to be careful because we're at new territory. And every time we get these vertical pumps, we do tend to get back inside of this pennant. So we're going to see if Tesla returns to the pennant down here, back down to 325 or not. Watch and see if 330 holds. You might be tipping towards that. We'll see if Tesla could hold it or not. For Nvda, we're pushing, but be careful as President Trump could be announcing new semiconductor tariffs. We could be retesting 184, and we're going to see if we reject near 184 to 185. If we break 185, we're bullish, but if we lose 180, we're going to be turning back down. So we'll see which way we go as we have that range to watch for. So keep that in mind. Apple's bullish, looking for essentially 228. We'll see if we break this or not. Keep in mind that if we pivot, we're going to likely return to 215 at some point. And this is going to be very key for how we end up moving. For others out there, we have AMD for those who are interested. Be careful with AMD because we do have this like bull flag. So this is like looking like this. And we need to break and hold 178 to remain bullish. If we can't, this could return like this before it tries to bounce. So watch and see if we hold 171. If not, we could be dipping to 169. For Coinbase, we have an inverse head and shoulders. We need to get back above 316 to push for 329. But if we lose 300, we're looking for a dip back down towards these lows over here. So we're going to see if this inverse head and shoulders pans out. We need to see us break 315 to be bullish. Otherwise, we're looking for 300 to be retested. Amazon's on an uptrend. As long as you don't lose 221, we're favoring consolidation and a push for 225. Meta is making lower highs here. We're actually consolidating. We're forming like a pennant, just like how Tesla has one. So I'd argue that we're just getting tighter. We're going to see which way this breaks. But if we break downwards, there's a gap to fill around 750. So we'll see if we fill that gap or if we get back above 770 to bounce. We're in the middle for now. Google's bullish because they've announced they want to be investing $300+ billion into AI and more data centers in the US. So we're going to be seeing if this breaks past 205. And then last but not least, we have Microsoft. Microsoft's on a downtrend. We're making lower highs unless we get back above 525. We're favoring 514 or below, so keep that in mind. The VIX is on a downtrend. This is technically in a falling wedge. So the question is this falling wedge going to lead to a big break next week like this to fill the gap, or do we just continue to dump? For now, it's bearish as the market's trying to rebound. But I do want to warn you guys to be careful because, once again, we're going to see if this head and shoulders pans out. So let me just pull up the 4-hour to show you. Not the 4-hour, maybe the 30 minutes. Is this going to be a head and shoulders on SPY, or are we about to break out? We're going to see. But be careful. I just want to give you guys a warning just in case. And as far as Tesla goes, I also want to note that we pushed to 335 and now we're in new territory. So we're going to see if Tesla turns back down to 330 to see if it holds. If not, we could be dipping to 325 again. So be very careful. With that being said, And thank you all so much for listening. Have a great rest of your guys' days, and peace out.